Hey everyone, you are watching Angel City's newest content that's all about highlighting our Angel City community, this family. Whether you're new to LA or you're a local, we want you to know that we have room for everyone and we encourage it. Everyone come on in, be a part of our family. So with that, I'm Haley Graves, and to kick things off, I'm joined by someone you might know and recognize. This is Angel City's OG, Lindsay Rojas.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Lindsay. So guys, Lindsay is the president of Rebellion 99, which is Angel City's first supporters group. Lindsay, tell me, how are you today? How are things going? I know it's been a long week, but how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, it's been a really fun journey so far. And I think, all of us in our supporters group and, Rebellion 99 as a whole, we're just so excited for 2022. It feels like so far away, really.
It does feel far away, especially going how this year's going. But Lindsay, we know your love of soccer, and I know that you've told the story of bring NWSL to LA to Rebellion 99. You've told that story a lot. So I'm not going to ask you to tell that story because, quite frankly, this is about you and us getting to know you. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. That's it. I have my phone right here with me, so I'm going to time you 30 seconds to describe yourself to everyone that's listening or watching right now. Are you ready? No pressure. Literally no pressure. You can say whatever you want.
That's a lot of pressure. Okay.
And this is actually kind of fun because most people, believe it or not, do have a hard time talking about themselves for 30 seconds. So max 30. If you can't keep going, we'll keep rolling with it, okay?
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay. I was born in Bellevue, Washington. I moved to Arizona when I was 6. My parents met at Arizona State University, so I went to Arizona State. I graduated with my degree in journalism and mass communication. My background is journalism, mass communication, public relations, but fun fact, I actually ended up being a dog walker. So it's been a very fun journey throughout my life, but that's where I am.
Hey, that was good. And you have to admit, that went by way faster than you thought.
It did. That really did.
But okay, I love the fact that you brought up being a dog walker because, okay, I mean, it's 2020, social media is so prevalent. So we did a little bit of a deep dive on your Instagram, and we didn't even have to go that deep because there's dog pictures everywhere. So explain to me the dog walking thing. We saw that you're a small business owner with dog walking. So explain that to our audience a little bit.
Yeah. So, I spent most of, after I graduated college, I spent most of my time in journalism. My background is actually copy editing and public relations for the most part. After I graduated, copy editing actually isn't really out there in the news industry anymore. So I kind of had to adapt as I went and just kind of moved up. But I quickly kind of found that just kind of the corporate industry wasn't, where I felt the most comfortable. And so, I've always had a love for dogs that just really transcends just really anything in my life. And so really, dog walking just I started it kind of as a hobby. And then I had a lot of my clients just say, I'd like you to just do this permanently, like for the lifetime of my dog, basically. And I had enough people just kind of say that I just made a business out of it. And yeah, I have my own LLC in the city of Los Angeles. And so that's, it's really the best job I've ever had.
I mean, I would definitely trust you with my dogs. Do you have any wild stories that have happened when you've been on your dog walking excursions?
I think the craziest one is one time I did show up to a client's house and she was actually in labor when I went to pick up her dog. And so I took the dog for a walk, and when we came back, they were already heading to the hospital. So I stayed there for a while with the dog just because the dog kept running around the apartment going like, where's my mom? And I was like, I did not have the heart to leave the dog. I was like, nope, I got to stay here, calm you down. So I think that's one of my craziest things for sure.
Oh my goodness. That's unreal. Like, I don't know what I would have done. I would have been like, do you want me to take the dog? Like what should we do? You have bigger things to worry about.
Yeah.
So where did your love of dogs come from though? Because you said it's been kind of your whole life, but did you grow up with them? Was there a moment that you realized you love them? Because I'm a dog person too, so I could totally relate.
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up with dogs. I actually, my family lives on a farm in Queen Creek, Arizona. So we actually had so many animals growing up, but dogs, that was just kind of a staple of our household. We always had a dog. I had a dog. I actually did have a Doberman when I was born, and her name was Sage. And my mom actually has pictures of her sleeping by my crib, just like protecting me. And she said she's like in almost all my baby photos. And so, yeah, dogs have always been a big part of my life, and they've just brought me so much joy. And when I left and moved out of Arizona after graduating college, I didn't have a dog. And so I was really like missing that puzzle piece. And so I was able to really find it through this, this business venture of mine.
I love that for you, Lindsay. So soccer and dogs, that's Lindsay summed up. But okay, now I'm going to ask you some hard hitting questions. Okay. Have fun with your answers here. But to begin, they're just gonna, it's letting everyone know a little bit more about you in a very, very random way. Staying on the same dog subject though, what would you say if you had to choose a dog breed that is Lindsay Rojas, what dog breed would it be?
Gosh.
This is a harder question than people realize.
I think, if you have all the dog breeds in your mind, like, I want to say that I have a little bit of pit bull in me. They are the most loving dogs I've ever really encountered. They are just a part of the family. You can't get a pit bull without expecting them to be like your child. Not that I'm expecting to be somebody's child. But they really just have a unique personality. They're very energetic and boisterous and strong, and they really don't let anything get them down, no matter what. And I think that really kind of sums up a lot of my journey up till now too.
Yeah. What would you specifically say about your journey? Because in the short time that I've gotten to know you, I can tell that you're very resilient, you're very passionate, and in all those same mannerisms. So what's been about your journey that you would say that has made you that way?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of women have really encountered, specifically, sexism in their workplace. And that actually has been something I've encountered quite a bit. And that actually led to me becoming a dog walker. Okay. I actually have clinical anxiety, OCD, and depression. And really, when I kind of stepped aside from corporate America and took on, dog walking, it really just, brought me back to who I was. Yeah. And, just having the dogs there, like, they don't judge you. They don't tell you you're not good enough. They don't tell you, I wish a man was walking me instead. Yeah. It's unconditional love. And, I think that really has really boosted a lot within me. And I think, that background also plays into why I love being a supporter, because, the anxiety that I have sometimes does get crippling, as it does for many women. And the first time I ever was in a supporter section, that was one of the very few times, and the first times in my life, where just screaming as loud as you possibly can, it makes it kind of go away temporarily. And that was just something that was very unique to me, and something that I knew, like, this is going to be a part of my life forever.
Yeah, one of the things that we talk about internally with Angel City is how special supporter groups are within the community of soccer. And for us, that's where one of our focus is. That's why we're doing things like this today. And because you're not just a fan of the team, you're not just a fan of the sport. Supporter groups are truly a community, stemmed from that word, support. So, the fact that you are the president of this team, If I was someone that's new to Los Angeles looking for a community, what would you say is special specifically about the one being created by Rebellion 99?
Oh man, there's so many things really. I mean, Rebellion 99, as I'm learning every single day, is so diverse. I mean, we have so many members that come from so many different backgrounds, from so many different states and countries, actually. And we all have so much in common, but we all have so many differences too. And, you know, it's really touching to see some of our members just feel okay in our space. You know, being gay, you know, that's, you know, that was something I think they kind of touched on a lot when we first recruited a ton of our members, was how they felt just very welcoming, and that, you know, this isn't a place where they're going to be judged. And I mean, it did get very emotional at times, just seeing like the impact that Rebellion 99 was having on some of our members that I didn't even anticipate. And just the inclusivity that we are really striving to promote at all times within Rebellion 99. I mean, I think it's very evident to all of our members, and I'm just grateful to have all of them in our group, really.
Yeah, I love that you bring up inclusivity, because that's a major focus and a big part of one of the things that we're focused on within Angel City ourselves, because we want everyone to know that literally everyone is welcome to come to an Angel City match, to come be a part of what we're building. And I know that things are hard given these days and just the lack of being able to be around others because of COVID and the very real things that our world is experiencing, but that doesn't mean you can't have community. And so that's one of the things that we're really trying to build up here in Los Angeles. And speaking of Los Angeles, though, one of those things that comes with the culture of this city, and what I believe really how you can dive into a culture anywhere you are, is their food.
Oh,
so being in Los Angeles for the rest of your life, you could only eat at one restaurant in LA. What restaurant is that?
This is the worst question ever. I mean, I'm really always down for Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I mean, that really just like hits home with me all the time. Too much, probably. I think Roscoe's is somewhere if I didn't have a budget or a waistline problem, I'd be there every single minute of every day.
I know what Lindsay's having for dinner tonight, thanks to this call. All right, Lindsay. So we've got a couple other questions here. This is a wild one, okay? Put yourself in this situation. You wake up in your childhood bedroom. You're 12 years old, so you haven't even really reached the teenage years yet, but you're about to embark on them. What piece of advice would you give yourself?
Oh, gosh. Don't worry about flat ironing your hair, because 2 hours every day is not going to make a difference in your self-esteem.
I feel that so hard, Lindsay.
Yeah, I think my hair was fried at that age. But I really do think, I think the biggest thing I would probably tell myself is, you know, to not worry so much about what other people think of you, and just focus on what you think of yourself, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And I think that's something that, you know, everybody should really, you know, take to heart at all times.
Yeah, and I even think that even in our reality where social media is everywhere and everyone's always like putting on a show because of social media, like we lose sight of that. So that advice is even very relevant today. But I've got to say, totally feel you on the hair thing. You can tell my hair's wild, and it took me until my 20s to just embrace it for all that it is. All right, so the next one, okay, which U.S. women's national team player would you most like to go on a vacation with?
Oh, that's a no-brainer, Megan Rapinoe.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a party, and her personality is just something that I think anybody can get along with. And, you know, I mean, she uses her platform for amazing ways. And I think that anybody could probably have a 10-hour conversation with her.
Yeah, agreed. I would even go as far to say she's a party and a half. She can't, she doesn't just stop a party. She keeps going. Where would you like to go? And, and even with her, without her, when COVID is over, where would be your ideal destination right now?
My husband and I have still not gone on a honeymoon. This year kind of ruined it for us. But I've always, I still haven't even been to Hawaii. So that's, really basic. But Hawaii, just somewhere where it's just calm. Yeah. And, your only plan is to lay on the beach and not do anything and just enjoy your time and eat good food. And, I think that I find with myself whenever I travel, especially when we went to France last year, I just want to do everything. I want to do everything, and there's not enough time to do everything. And I think just going to some place to take it slow and just relax. And I think, honestly, I think that's what just about everybody needs right about now.
Everybody definitely needs that. And speaking of your honeymoon, though, tell us a little bit about these pictures that we also saw on your Instagram of you and your husband, Mark, in front of the Eiffel Tower. Tell me about that moment, about that day. Go into that story a little for us.
Oh, gosh. Well, yes. I mean, we've been planning to go to France and the World Cup and the Canada World Cup because we went to that one as well. And so we always knew we were going to go. We were saving to go. We had our plane tickets and everything lined up. And then Mark proposed. And then we were just kind of thinking about it. And I'm not really a big wedding type of person. I, especially going back to the anxiety thing, I wanted to really enjoy this momentous occasion with him. Yeah. And so we just kind of said one day, why don't we just elope in Paris? We're going to be in the most romantic city on earth. Why don't we just do it? And so we were like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And so, we got the dress, we got the tux, we got the officiant, we got the photographer, and we picked out the place, underneath the Eiffel Tower. And I mean, it was the best day of my life, by far. It was incredible.
That sounds like an absolute dream. And, it's no surprise either, given your love of soccer, the fact that the Women's World Cup was happening. It seems like that's the most perfect fairy tale ending that you could have had in this situation. And, it's funny because just going back to it, soccer really is a part of people's lives. It's a fabric of their livelihood. They bring it into all different areas. And this is the global sport for a reason. And so it's funny now to kind of see American football, people starting to get, married at half times. And to me, it doesn't have the same romance factor as what you and Mark did going to Paris. I mean, we're trying and here in America, but I mean, I think the game of football will always have more romance in it than anything else.
Absolutely.
How about this one? What is your most rewatchable movie? I know given COVID, we have all had our fair share of Netflix, probably running out of things to watch at this point. But for you, what is your most rewatchable movie?
For me, I've really gravitated toward the Studio Ghibli movies.
What?
I mean, my favorite movie is My Neighbor Totoro, and it really just all of those films just transport you to just a different headspace where it can just be so fantastical and so ridiculously this could never happen that it really just makes you kind of forget what's going on in the real world and just help you relax and just enjoy what's on the screen. So I'm watching quite a bit of those lately.
Yeah. Hey, you got to, just take yourself somewhere else for a little bit. But I like that. Never heard of it. So I guess I'm going to need to put that on my list. Given my reaction, I definitely had never heard of what you were talking about, but now I got something to look forward to. So, and ultimately, just kind of bringing it back to here, or really, I guess, to here. What would you say the biggest thing that the game of soccer has taught you?
I think that soccer has really, like, are we talking about like just professional soccer, the game in general?
The
Like,
game, I'll say the game in general.
I think the game in general has just really taught me that you can really just strive to do whatever you do want to do in life. And you can set goals for yourself and you can attain them. And not only that, but you can use, depending on the platform that you have, you can use the sport as a way of elevating other topics within the community, within the world, anything that's close to you. I think that's one reason why I gravitated toward NWSL and the U.S. Women's National Team so much, is because, it is football. It is soccer. It is, we're going to go out there and play 90 plus minutes, but it's also way more than that. And, to me, the fact that their work does not end as soon as the game's over, they take their work off the pitch and, they raise, they uplift a lot of different causes that to me are very important and things that have affected me in my life. And I think that's just really one thing that I really love about, soccer in general. It's just, it really has taught me personally that I don't have to take no for an answer. I can pave my own way. I can strive for things that I may have been told were impossible to me before. And those are all things that I wish people would tell each other more. But I'm really inspired by the game of soccer because it doesn't have to tell you, it shows you. And that's really why I love it so much. And that's why I can't even really describe how excited I am for Angel City to come to Los Angeles, because we have it. It's going to be here. And it's a dream come true. It really is.
Yeah, it's going to be here before you know it. That is for damn sure.
Yes.
And I got to say too, because I know that kind of is an ending point, but even just adding to what you said about women's soccer and what the NWSL has already shown, like those are lessons that it's taught you, but it also backed up all of that even this summer, being the first professional league to come back, or team sport to come back in America after being postponed. The fact that they really got down together as a league and showed everyone else that this can be done and this is possible. And like what you said, it tells you that the impossible is possible. And that's exactly what even the NWSL did this summer. And I think they really created the framework for what the bubble can be like, what sports can be like in the day of COVID. And, that right there is women continuing to push barriers and to take things to different elevations than anyone even thought possible. And so when you were talking about that, I was like, damn, like women's soccer is doing this right now. Like they've already done this for you in your life, but it's still continuing to happen. And I just think that's really awesome and something super cool to be a part of.
Yeah. And I think that is really the whole basis behind Rebellion 99. And, what our foundation is, is set upon is, just striving to always be better, striving to always be inclusive, striving to, uplift the community and uplift women and uplift the LGBTQ community and uplift all marginalized communities. I think that's very, very unique to this community. And I'm really proud that is within, that is, I'm trying to think of a specific way of saying it. It is the basis for the foundation of Rebellion 99. That is what Rebellion 99 means. And that is what RSG is.
Yeah, I love it. Once again, everyone, Lindsay is our president of Rebellion 99, and we're so excited to see where she takes not only their supporter group, but what we continue to do and work alongside her with Angel City. With that, I'm Haley Graves. This is Lindsay. Lindsay, go ahead and tell everyone where they can follow you, by the way, and how they can find out more about Rebellion 99.
Absolutely. So you can follow Rebellion 99 at NWSL_LA on Twitter and Instagram, and at NWSLLA on Facebook.
Perfect. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time.